Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Gemini in July 2020. What is going on, Gemini? How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Okay, folks, welcome to July. More than half the year is up. I'm sure many of us are looking forward to 2021 already. But wherever you are in the world, Gemini, I hope you're happy. I hope you're safe. I hope that you're healthy. Card flipped out here as I was doing the opening, so Seven of Pentacles. Some of you might be in a little bit of a pinch financially, possibly having upheaval or reevaluation of your finances, of your stability, of your foundations. But regardless of that, hopefully you're able to handle whatever is possibly bothering you in terms of finances. I know it's a pinch right now for so many people, you know, as I've been saying in most of the readings throughout this year. This pandemic has really thrown so many of us in a loop and really created so many hardships for so many people out there. So Gemini, if you're struggling with that, you have my sympathy, you have my empathy. Anyway, today is July 4th, so happy Independence Day to my fellow Americans. If you're barbecuing, if you're out celebrating with friends and family, please be safe and take all precautions, because again, there's a pandemic going on out there, and there's a lot of cards that fell, so I'm going to have to pause the video and pick them up, but we'll come back and we'll discuss this one, so give me a second. All right, Gemini, I apologize about that. Like I said, a few cards fell to the ground, but we're not going to discuss those. We'll discuss this one that came face up in my hand, which is the Four of Wands. So again, your foundations, your stability, you know, your home life, it might be something crucial is happening in that realm for some of you, okay? So what was I saying? Yeah, so happy 4th of July for those who are celebrating. Again, please be safe, be cautious as you're gathering around your friends and your family, enjoying a good old hot dog or hamburger, or if you're really fancy, steak, and like, you know, steak on the grill is delicious. Anyway, let's get into it. Gemini, I have shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. Hey. Thank you. Get in line. Thank you. Shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there, you'll find the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have questions before you place a personal order, just email me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as I can. And you will see the link to my Instagram down there where I do pulls on oracle cards a few times throughout the week. Recently did a pick a card pull. That was kind of fun, so I'll be doing that again sometime in the near future. So if you want to be following me there, just go ahead and hit the link and drop me a follow, okay? Pardon me. All right, let's get into it. I want to see the outcome for Gemini in July 2020. Outcome for Gemini in July 2020. Please show me. It is hot in here. Where I am, it is like 90 something today. I know it's hotter in other places of the country, but you know, I'm already turned off when it's like in the high 80s. Even the low 80s can be too much. So hopefully where you are, you're staying cool, stay hydrated. But hopefully you're not as put off as I am. And that one actually came out in the pre-shuffle. That's interesting. So it came back out. There was a purpose. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. All right, let's flip what came face down for you, Gemini. He was out too. All right, so I got some repeat players. You didn't know that, but I'm telling you. Some of these cards came out in your pre-shuffle. Okay, let's get into it. Ah, jeez. Please show me where Gemini is in July 2020. Please show me Gemini in July 2020. Please show me. Okay, thank you. Whew. That was a little gut punch, a little in my stomach, solar plexus area. That was a little. I don't know what that was. Anyway, this is where you are. Two of Swords in reverse, Gemini, as you enter the month of July. So let's turn this upright so you can get a better look at it. So traditionally speaking, when we see the Two of Swords, we are talking about something or a situation or a mindset that's stuck, that's inflexible, that's not moving forward, that's making no progress. However, with it in the reverse, That might not be the case for some of you. I feel like there's a certain decisiveness, but also impulsiveness. Thank you. That's involved here. So some of you are moving forward with an idea. You're moving forward with a decision, with a project, with whatever. And it might be happening quickly, or it might seem out of the blue, maybe even to yourself. But particularly it might seem out of the blue to other people. The care about how quickly it happens is probably bigger than it should be. That seems to be a theme thus far. You're the third sign that I'm reading for, and I kind of felt it more so with Aries than I did with Taurus, but the theme thus far energetically for folks is making decisions and sticking to their guns and being about their principles, or being about what they need for their own sake, what they need for their own particular journey or movement in a situation. And I feel that's similar here. I feel for you, Gemini, though, you might be a little dismissive of other people, which, I don't know the situation, I don't know the specifics, so you might be within your rights to feel that way or move forward in this way. But it does feel like, you're just going to do what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it, right? Because again, this is in the reverse. So the hesitancy isn't there. The feeling stuck isn't necessarily there. The the uncertainty of the Two of Swords isn't kind of there, because when we see the Two of Swords, it's about making a decision, right? Do I do this? Do I do that? Should I go left? Should I go right? Yeah. I feel as though you may have had that, but it was for a short period of time. Or you're so tired of that, maybe that's it. That's that impulsive thing. Oh, Gemini, what I'm sensing is you may have been waiting so long, or you may have been in your head for so long, thinking about a situation, deciding where to go, what decisions to make, right? You may have been caught up in your mind, because this is Swords, for such a long time that you became tired of that, you became fatigued of that, and you just say, well, I'm just going to choose whatever. And you don't actually, some of you have not actually considered the options. You're just choosing to choose. Does that make sense? So that's that impulsiveness that I'm feeling for some of you, is you don't actually weigh out the options. You don't actually investigate or really think too long. You just act because you want to move past. Thank you. You just want to move past the stagnancy of the situation. Whether that's good or bad, that's going to apply differently in your individual situations. But the purpose, or not the purpose, the core of this is moving on, moving past stagnant energy or stagnant situations or people. So in principle, I kind of like that. But again, I don't think some of you really did not think about what you were doing. You just did it. You just made a choice to make a choice. So to kind of use a somewhat benign example. Let's say this is just an example. I'm not predicting anything. I'm not connecting. I'm just using it to illustrate the point. Let's say you were planning a wedding, right? Male or female, or you're planning with your partner, whatever. You're planning something, and somebody comes to you with like a color scheme. We could do aqua with accents of cream and da-da-da-da-da, and we could do this really ornate thing, or we can go with we could do like a purple and red theme. And you're like, okay, purple and red. You just say purple and red, just to say it, just to move past the thing. And I'm like, purple and red for a wedding? That's a choice. That's a choice. And you made that choice. You see what I mean? So you just say it because you want to get past this part of the planning in terms of color scheme, because you still got to get caterers, you still got to get the guest list, you still got to get the seating arrangements, you got to get all these other things done. So the colors is just like, all right, here, purple and red, done. For a wedding? Yeah, okay. Because the other option, the aqua with the accents of with a cream and maybe like a this and that. I'm not a wedding planner myself, so I have no idea what actually looks great together. But I'm pretty sure that first option is better than the second, right? So because you didn't take the time to think about it, some of you, this is not everybody, Or, it could be vice versa because it is a general. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt. But whoever is in this energy, they just want to get past the decision. They don't even care about what they're deciding on or what they're choosing out of X amount of options. They're just like, that one. Okay, yeah, that one. Okay, yeah, give me that one. That's fine. Another way to put it. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about, just be careful about the choices that you're making. If you haven't made the choice yet, take a little bit more time to think about the outcome of either of those options. Does that make sense? Now, what else is happening for Gemini? Please show me. And I have kind of this cavalier attitude about it. I'm connecting with a cavalier. Well, yeah, okay, I chose purple and red. That's what we're doing. And people are like, really? And you're like, yeah, I chose it. No big deal. And people are like, but Gemini, it's your wedding. And you're like, I chose purple and red. It's okay. It's like, you're just so whatever about this choice. And other people are like, what? Why would you do that? So let's see what else happens for you. So what else happens for Gemini? Please show me. Yeah, you're being it's like, I made my choice and what? And other people are shaking their head at you. SMH, shaking my head at you, right? But anyway, you're in this very confident stance of the Strength card. Major Arcana for Leo, so some of you could be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. So I mean, look at this person holding up this towel, holding up this piece of cloth. Yep, this is what I did. It's what are those cheesy jokes and all I got was this crappy T-shirt, or been there, done that, and all I got was this crappy T-shirt, or some shit like that. It's kind of like that. It's defiant in a way. You're somewhat being defiant, Gemini, or whoever this is in the situation. Could be another person, could be the cross watcher, whoever. But there's a defiance. I did this, and sticking to the choice, sticking to the decision, sticking to whatever move you're trying to make in your life. This could be a career decision. This could be, signing on to a company or agreeing to work for a company that has a shady past, that has shady dealings, or just an individual, a local business partner. And other people are like, that person is not above board. And you're like, I made my decision. It's really I did what I did. I said what I said. I'm doing what I'm going to do. And anybody who is a naysayer is just annoying you at this point. Now, I'm not saying to choose purple and red for a wedding is going to ruin the wedding. You're still going to be married, are you not? I'm not somebody who buys into the wedding is the most important part of the marriage. It's not. It's just a big old party. It's a ridiculously expensive party in my estimation, but I get the sentiment and I get what it represents to other people. So you might have this decision, going back to this idea of a wedding. Between you and your partner, you guys go with the color scheme. Maybe you decide together, purple and red. And your mother, or your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, or your sister, your brother, whoever is just are you sure? And it's it's our wedding. Yes, purple and red. That's the color scheme. And people are like, what? How? Who? They don't understand it. And you're kind of it's not for you to understand. It's my life, or it's my wedding, or it's me and my wife's wedding, or me and my husband, or whoever, right? It's our day. So your input, your reaction is unnecessary, or your protest, your disagreement is dismissed. The Strength card, as it's coming up in your reading, like I said, is defiant, is not taking on criticism, is not welcoming people and their concerns. You can take your concern and take it back outside, because it's not welcome in these doors. Does that make sense? So, very strong-willed, very independent-minded, independent acting, independent decision-making, very little consultation with any other person besides yourself or whoever is closest to the situation. Again, if you were planning a wedding or some party, it doesn't have to be a wedding, but you're doing something in concert with another person. Only you and them get to decide. It has nothing to do with anybody else, even though other people are involved. Let that be clear. Other people are involved in this situation. Other people in some form or fashion will be impacted by your decision, but you kind of don't care, because the crucial elements are you and whoever else is involved, like a partner, business partner, romantic partner, friendship, whatever. People that are in the inner circle, we're the ones that matter. Anybody outside the inner circle, you can love it or lump it, is kind of how this feels. And there's somebody who's lumping it, clearly. Prince of Pentacles, aka the Knight of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be dealing with an Earth sign or not at all. So, look at this guy's posture. He's kind of judgy. And it doesn't have to be a male that I'm talking about. It could be talking about a female. And again, they don't have to be an Earth sign. But whoever this person is, they're judging. They are judging. Arms crossed. Eyes a little bit squinty. A look of, are you sure about that? A look of, maybe, I don't know. Or a look of, what the fuck is wrong with you? Whatever degree this is coming across in your life. But there's some person or a group of people that's observing what you're doing and they disapprove. The Knight of Pentacles likes things that make sense, likes things to be plausible and practical, doesn't like things that are off the cuff, doesn't like things that come, from outside the scope of normalcy for all intents and purposes. Like the Knight of Pentacles is, in this reading, in this moment, kind of a basic bitch. And, I'm not trying to be insulting, but I think I'm kind of channeling this element of Gemini, because Gemini's third house represents the house of children and neighbors and siblings and stuff like that. And those are like the more jovial relationships we have with people, or the more casual, not jovial, but casual relationships we have with people, right? With our siblings, our friends, and our neighbors and stuff like that. Very, very casual. It's not formal. It's not, father to son, daughter to mother, anything like that. It's level, right? So there's sort of this permissible energy when it comes to communication from the third house, right? You can be a little bit more relaxed and colorful with your language. So when you see this person, or you entangle with this person's energy, you're like, you're so basic. You're just so regular and so like you like blow raspberries at this person, like get at it, boo. And you might love this person, you might actually respect this person a lot, but in terms of what we're talking about, the decisions that you're making for your life or for your career or for your love life or whatever we're talking about, this person and their attitude, their critique, their concern is like boring you. It's really ineffective, truly, because you have made your decision. You're standing strong, possibly in defiance with that decision, and this person is just standing there criticizing and being critical of you and possibly giving you the third degree, and you're kind of like, get out of here, like go away. I'm not interested in what you have to say about this, because again, you could be someone like me, and I'm not right or wrong in the situation, this is just my opinion. Going back to this wedding thing, so I guess I'm going to keep using this, so maybe it is important to some of you who are engaged or planning some type of wedding. It's for me and my spouse. It's for me and my partner. If anybody doesn't like the color scheme, if you don't like the menu, if you don't like the venue, if you don't like the guest list, go away. Don't, and maybe that's a little childish, maybe that's a little short-sighted, but I get the sense of like an interloping energy into something that you're just like, the way I want to do it is the way I want to do it, or the way we want to do it as a unit, the way we want to do it as a group, whatever we're talking about. That's how we're going to do it. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it, but your criticism is just like, it's not going to change it. The order has gone into the caterer. It's 2 servings of fish, and everybody's like, you're supposed to have like a chicken or a vegetarian. It's fish or nothing. And people are looking at you like you're crazy, and it's like, it's fish. The entire menu, fish. That's it. So there's something about this person who, they will eventually move off of this, I think. I don't think they're going to hammer it home. Like if they were a queen or a king, I'd be like, they're really, 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 really going to be contentious about this. Because it's a prince, I don't think this person is going to... See, you see that look again? The look on this guy's face? It's almost like this person feels a little arrogant in that, well, I warned you, so now I'm going to sit back and watch you make a fool of yourself. I'm going to sit back and watch you make a mess of this situation. You didn't listen to me, so go ahead and have your wedding with purple and red and 2 fish entrees. Go ahead. Go ahead. Make that mistake. And you're kind of like, I will. Like, because again, maybe Gemini, you're coming from this standpoint of that's not the purpose. Again, in the specific example of a wedding, a wedding doesn't make a marriage, right? It's just the beginning stages of it, or the ceremonial entrance into a long-lasting relationship, possibly a lifelong relationship, right? What does it matter that we serve 2 fish entrees? What does it matter that the color scheme is purple and red? Has nothing to do with how good of a relationship we're going to have. It has nothing to do with how good parents we're going to be, whether we're going to be viable and positive members of our community, of our society. Like, so it might be the principle of the matter is what's really grinding your gears, or the fact that people are saying your horrible wedding or your wedding with the questionable color scheme is somehow indicative of what your marriage will be. And you're like, that doesn't make sense. Gemini would definitely be like, so what you're saying is, because I have 2 fish entrees and a questionable color scheme, you think my marriage is going to be a piece of crap. Okay. It's like, now you're like double down. Not only is it double fish entree, and it's going to be purple and red as the color scheme, we are not going to have a DJ. We're going to have a spoken word artist. No music, just spoken word poetry as the entertainment. Like, you are, it's like you're going, it's 8 of Swords. That's where this is coming from. 8 of Swords normally in tarot. Let me think about it. 8 of Swords in tarot. I feel like most of the time doesn't show 2 people. I think, it normally shows 1 person who's tied up and, surrounded by swords. Here we have 2 people. So this is like a contentious battle between you and another person. Again, like an intervening mother-in-law or sister or something like that. It doesn't have to be a woman. It could be a male. So it could be a brother or an uncle or something like that. But there's some person who is kind of driving you crazy, because everything you suggest to do or everything that you make a move to do, they criticize you and they question your process. They question why you're doing anything that you're doing. And you're like, you're really ticking me off, or you're really showing yourself not to be a good friend to me. You're not supporting me. In some cases, you might tell someone, if you really loved me, you wouldn't care about XYZ. You would just let me do my thing, because this is beyond a wedding. I'm only using that as an example. For most of you, it has nothing to do with a wedding or a marriage. But whatever you're choosing to do, someone is critiquing you the entire time, and you're kind of like, let me be. Just let me go and do what I need to do. I've decided, either with a lot of thought or none at all, because some of you are impulsively deciding things. Let's not forget that. Some of you are impulsively deciding just because you want to move along the process. So the deliberation over decision making is what you don't want to do. Bottom line for all Geminis, whether there are those who are circling the drain and you're thinking and you're analyzing and you keep thinking and analyzing before you make a decision, and the group that's being impulsive, you both are just like, I don't want to do too much thinking, whether you're doing it or not. That's the thing you want to get over. That's the thing you want to get past. You want to get to the next, path or the next doorway or the next gateway, right? You want to see something develop. You want to see something move forward, progress. And people are questioning your decision-making skills. They're questioning your motives of your decision of your decision-making, and you're kind of like, just let me work. Just let me do this on my own. There's something about, I got this. I know what I'm doing. And people are like, do you though? And you're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Get out of my face. So again, it's like this third house, like banter between friends and family and cohorts and neighbors and stuff. people who are equal to you. I'm not really sensing much of a hierarchy here. I'm not sensing like a boss to an employee or a mother to child, a father to child type of scenario. I'm really sensing mostly equal people, right? So what else happens for you? Because you and this person are not seeing eye to eye, period. And I don't think you care to try and make them see your point of view. They're trying more than you are to get you to see where they're coming from. And you're kind of like, you're not even a factor here. Like, this is my life. This is my path. This is my career. Why are you caring? Like, leave me alone. If I fall on my face, I fall on my face. But you have a lot of confidence that says you're not going to fall on your face. Or, like I said, you're not even seeing the short-term outcome. Like, there's a bigger outcome further down the line. Again, going back to the marriage thing. My wedding day has nothing to do with whether or not my marriage will be successful. Maybe my wedding day is just, maybe I want to throw an insanely tacky party. Maybe that's my goal. Maybe that's me and my partner's sense of humor. Maybe we want like a themed wedding. What theme do you want for your wedding? Beetlejuice. What? You know? Beetlejuice. I want Tim Burton's Beetlejuice as the theme of my wedding. And people are looking at you like you're crazy. And they're just like, that's between me and my partner. We love that movie. We love Tim Burton. Whatever. So, it's interesting. I feel that, yes, you're in this insanely creative mode, Gemini, where you're seeing your future, you're seeing a bigger outcome that you're going for. You know, people don't understand this relationship you have with your romantic partner or your business partner. People don't understand why you want to work with like a local scumbag who's like been in the local newspapers for like shady dealings. And you're like, because this person is going to offer me a lot of money and I plan to earn, you know, whatever. There's something that you have a vision of with this Magician card that is motivating you, period. You're motivated because you see something and you want it, and you want it in a particular way. And the Magician is a character that makes it. He, as is a male, but you don't have to be a male to resonate with this message or resonate with this card. The Magician sees a way to create what they want, or sees about it. Like, they oversee it. How can I say this? I'm not saying this right. Thank you. Manifest. They're a manifester. I was like, what is the word? Magician is, it's you, isn't it? Oh, God, I'm going to blank. Yeah, Magician is secondary major for Virgo and Gemini. Yeah. I was like, what is this? There it is. I don't know why I was thinking of Aquarius. So for some of you, maybe there's an Aquarius of significance, but whatever. So this is you, your secondary card, alongside Virgo. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, a Virgo, or an Aquarius, or any other sign in the zodiac. It's still the general, so it doesn't matter too much. And you know, like, what to do. Or at least you're beginning to know what you have to do, or you're beginning to see what you have to do. Thank you. In proper measure, in proper protocol almost, maybe not protocol, but proper measure, let's go with that. You know which tools, which elements of your personality, what resources around you to use to get to what you want, right? So if you want a happy marriage, again with this analogy that just won't leave me, but if you want a happy marriage and your spouse and you both love Tim Burton so much, and you're like, I want a Beetlejuice theme. The colors are going to be red and purple. He's dressing up as Beetlejuice. I'm dressing up as Lydia Dietz. We're doing the damn thing. And people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're like, this is my marriage. This is the person I want to be with. This is what makes both of us happy. This is going, first of all, if anybody attends that wedding, they're going to remember it for the rest of their lives. It's because it's so unlike any other marriage or any other wedding ceremony that they've been to, excuse me. So it's like, it seems odd and awkward, or it seems, you know, erroneous and in some cases sacrilegious or disrespectful, right? Some of your family members or friends might be critiquing you in that way. But you know, for the goal of having a happy life with your partner of choice, this is how you want to start that journey. This is the gateway you want to walk through. A Beetlejuice theme wedding. Boom. And you do it. And you're happy. it's kind of one of those situations where even if it goes badly, Gemini is going to be happy because Gemini chose what they chose. You would be unhappy even if it ended badly. You would be unhappy because, thank you. It's like choosing A or B. Let's just go with, a regular thing. A or B. In your heart, you're like, I think I want to choose A. But my friends and my family, they say choose B. Okay, so I'm going to choose B because that's what my friends and my family think I should do. You choose B. B turns out to be a crappy choice. B turns out to be, the thing that you didn't want. So you're unhappy. And you would be mad because you felt influenced because of other people's desires, because of other people's input, because of other people's influence that you chose option B. In your heart of hearts, you always wanted A, right? And then it would work the same way. Let's say you choose A, but A doesn't go out or come about the way you want. A does have some setbacks. A does see some pitfalls. A does see you, in a sense, quote unquote, losing. But you would be happy, Gemini, because you chose it. It's one of those things. You don't want other people to choose for you. You want to choose for yourself. And if it ends up badly, so be it. But at least you made the choice for yourself. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. I'm answering for myself. It does make sense. The devil in reverse. The devil is an influencing energy. Look at this guy. He's got these people chained up at doing his will, doing his work. Right? And I'm not saying that you're surrounded by people who are the devil or are working for the devil. No, I'm not saying that. But as an archetype in tarot, the devil aims to control. The devil aims to influence and hold people to a certain standard, to a certain expectation, to a certain role. Yeah? And you don't want that. So the devil in reverse, this is major arcana for Capricorn. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn, but you don't have to be. So with it in reverse, you release this. You release yourself from these shackles. You release yourself from these expectations of other people or yourself. Maybe since you were a child, a little girl or a little boy, whatever, you imagined a very traditional wedding or you imagined a very traditional career path for yourself, whatever we're talking about. Devil energy as it is related to Capricorn, super traditional. Look up Capricorn and read about that archetype. Very traditional, ruled by Saturn, rules and expectations, guidelines, parameters, karma as well. So lots of things. This is a rebellion, basically. And if you know anything about Gemini, you're like the first sign of rebellion, truly. There's only two that come before you, so Taurus and Aries. And Aries isn't a rebel. Aries is a path maker. Aries is a pioneer. Taurus comes in the middle, and it's kind of like, I like things to be cool, calm, and collected. And then Gemini is just like flipping tables. I'm a rebel. Possibly a rebel without a cause, maybe. But that's what I sense here, is not being held to somebody else's standards and expectations and basically following your own path. It might not end up well, I gotta tell you. It might not end up in the way that you want, in the way that you're envisioning with the magician, in the way that you're trying to manifest. It might blow up in your face. But there's some pride, strength card, you take in going your own way, making your own decisions, not having other people make decisions for you. Basically, autonomy, which is something in my work on my channel, I usually put at the top in terms of what's important for self-development, autonomy. And that's, and that's the other thing is like this idea of autonomy or this idea of acting independently. I think sometimes people think or get the idea that if I'm autonomous, if I'm independent, if I act in my own behest, I'll always make perfect decisions. False. People who are independent and act in their own behest and really are rolling stones, so to speak, or you can still make mistakes. You can still fall on your face. You can still make errors. No human is perfect. So there's the sense here that that's where it's coming from. Here and a little bit in the devil, because again, this is earth sign energy anyway. And I gotta tell you, the earth signs of the four elements, Pentacles, Earth, I think, yeah, they can tend to idealize things. They can tend to have this idea of what is right and what is wrong and stick to that. Air signs do it too, so Gemini, you're part of that world. But air, in terms of element, is more flexible. Like, what is air? It's literally, it doesn't go one straight way. Earth is a little bit more predictable. It's a little bit more solid. I hope you get what I'm saying. So, you're rebelling. You're making your own choices. And what the outcome, there you go, there it is. What the outcome will be, who knows? Now, Seven of Swords, traditionally in tarot, talks about deception, talks about some devious behaviors or some not above board choices. And I already told you, some of you are walking down paths that are questionable, or you're walking into partnerships or into certain connections with people that you know are shady. And people are like, Gemini, what are you doing? That person is shady. And you're like, don't worry, I got a plan. Or don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Again, I'm not sitting here saying you're going to walk down easy street. You're going to turn out everything that you're choosing to do is going to be a good choice. I'm not saying that. Take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. The feeling you have, though, is that you're doing this on your own accord. You're walking to the beat of your own drum. And that's what you're more after. Even if the result is garbage, even if the result blows up in your face, even if the result is terrible, you're kind of like, well, I did it on my own accord. And that's the most important part of this for you, Gemini, for you. The result, like I said, might not be great. Might be some shady crap going on. You might walk into self-delusion, so be careful. I feel you might get some of you might get a little bit of an ego on you if you see short-term success, and that might be enough for you to go, haha, I told you so. Haha, I told you I could do it. Yeah, all your worry and all your blah, blah, blah. Like, that was for nothing. I told you I would be a success. What did I just say? Short term. That could be a self-delusion. Seven of Swords is kind of dicey energy. It's hard to track. It's hard to really pinpoint. So in the short term, you might end up in a good spot, but in the long term, who knows? You know, that moon is very large. The clouds in the sky will be casting shadows all over the land that this woman is walking towards. So be careful. You know, you've put me as a reader in a very precarious spot because I support anybody making autonomous decisions, independent decisions. However, I already told you, even from the start with that Two of Swords, some of you are just making decisions so you can see progress and you're not actually thinking things through. You're impulsively deciding on something. And that might not be good in the long term. However, like I just said, what you feel is, at least I'd made the decision on my own. And that could be breaking a pattern. Going back to the devil really quick. Devil can talk about patterns, can talk about conditioning in our lives, what we're used to, what we are most comfortable with, even if it's not the healthiest thing for us. So some of you, maybe you've lived sheltered lives where people have made decisions for you. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, whoever. You've had someone guiding you the entire time. Someone who's always made these decisions for you. Like, yeah, something really arbitrary. Like maybe ever since you were a kid, you've never ordered a meal before in a restaurant on your own, ever in your life. You turn 18 years old, you go out to eat dinner with friends, and you order something like that's laced with dairy. But you know you have lactose intolerance. But you order something that's heavy with dairy anyway, because your mom or your dad or whoever isn't there to say, you can't have that, you're going to get sick. And you're like, give me the cheesecake, give me the mac and cheese, give me an ice cream sundae. And people are like looking at you, Gemini, do you want to eat that? Are you serious? Yes, I want to eat it. And you're stuffing it in your face and your stomach is like, what the hell are you doing to us? You're destroying us. Does that make sense? There's something about the pride of breaking a pattern or a cycle or breaking someone's control over your life that is more important to you than the actual result. Next day, you might be throwing up. You might have, incredible diarrhea, but at least you got to eat mac and cheese and ice cream. That's the best. I'm sorry to make it such a base example, but that's what I feel. The result might not be great, but you're at least you're sitting there going, well, I decided it. I don't know. It's very strange. Now, your overall energy is the Two of Wands. So again, decision making or choosing or feel, in this case, look at this guy. His chest is all out. He's standing up on his toes. His head is up towards the sky. Being proud that you're in a position to choose, that you're on a pathway of making significant change in your life, and you're going to go your own way. You're going to make your own path. You're going to move forward in the way that you choose to move forward. No one else is telling you what to do. You tell you what to do. Does that make sense? I still like this for you, Gemini, even though I'm super cautious. I gotta be honest. I'm super cautious because some of you haven't really weighed the options out. Some of you are, again, you're just deciding to do things kind of willy-nilly. And if this is, again, breaking patterns, if this is breaking away from previous conditioning, we all make mistakes. See, this is why I'm okay with it. As much as an anonymous pair of hands on the internet can be okay with it, this is why I'm okay with it. Because if this is your first time ever making major decisions on your own, if you're a younger person or you're someone who, again, has been kind of sheltered or taken care of, or people have always, kind of interjected in your life and influenced you, and this is the first time you've made a decision on your own. How many of us, for the first time ever, made a perfect decision the first time we were left up to our own devices? That's kind of why I'm okay with it. This might be a huge learning curve for some of you, but that's your path and that's your journey, okay? Gemini, that is your reading for July. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Go ahead and hit that for me. If you want to leave a comment, let me know how this resonated in your life. I would love to read it. You can leave that below. If you want to share the video, let other people know you like watching my stuff. Super, super cool. And if you would choose to subscribe because you like my stuff and you want to come back and see more of it, there is a button for that down below. Go ahead and hit it for me. Oh, boy, this was an interesting read. But I will be back soon, within a couple of weeks, to do your mid-July readings. I will be going live next weekend on July the 11th for Cancers for their birthday season. If you would like to, or if you have any reason to quote-unquote spy on a Cancer cross-watch for them, feel free to join me in the chat. Again, I will be interacting purely with Cancers because it is their birthday season, so if you want to check me out for that, feel free to join next week. And if not, yeah, that's totally okay too. Again, guys, if you want a personal reading, that information is down below in the description box. Gemini, I thank you so much for watching this reading. Take care.